This is Larry the Barber Man, and today I'm at the IBS in New York with Danny Amorim.
Amorim, yes.
Amorim. Buckle up, this is going to be a bumpy ride in a good way. Danny is a multiple barbershop owner, and is educator. He's an ambassador for the Gibbs Grooming Company. He's one of the hosts of the Exotica Barber Battle. He's an ex-Barber Battle champion and motivational speaker, and the list goes on. So, Danny, thank you for finding the time. We're going on take 2. This time last year I kind of messed up. I came to your shop when you had a busy shop, so I couldn't really get into you, but we got a nice clear run today, so we can get down to it and trade some.
We got it, we're back.
Trade some blows. So, Danny, just remind me again your entry into barbering.
My entry into barbering is probably a story similar to many barbers, picking up a pair of clippers because we needed a haircut. Picked up my first pair of clippers, 14 years old, never really took it as a career. It was just something that I needed to do for myself. So I went from just giving myself a haircut to cutting guys in my neighborhood, cutting guys I went to school with, just stuff for fun, and the craft just turned into something that I loved, and I just kind of fell into it, My work ethic was always there. I've always been a hustler, always kept a job since I was 15. Like, always been doing stuff and just cut hair on the side, but never knew I could maximize it to what I am today. And I just graduated high school, college wasn't for me. And I said, you know what? Let me try this barbershop thing out, And September of '98, my first barbershop worked in, 18 years old, wasn't the best, but probably the most reliable, most responsible, most hospitable, and I took it serious, and I built a strong clientele in about 2 years from just doing that.
I remember from our last interview, you told me how you actually procured your shop. Can you just remind me of that?
Well, I worked for a gentleman for, once again, 2 years, and I built a pretty strong clientele working for him within 2 years. And this goes back to the year 2000, way before iPhones and stuff like that. We didn't even have, I think we had beepers still. So you had to have a landline. So what I did is I asked the owner of the shop, how much would it cost me to have my own landline in his shop? He looked at me like I had 3 heads. I wanted my own line because I was tired of the customer service that his clients and his barbers were giving to my clients. So I had my own phone line. I had my own shop in his shop at 20 years old. That phone number is 908-659-9795. Small little phone line, my own chair, my own space, but it was mine. Within a year, I took that phone number and my clientele and opened up my first shop, December 3rd of 2001. Small shop, 4 chairs, terrible parking, but something I called my own at 21. 14 months later, I outgrew that location. I moved into my Clippers 1 location that is still there now. We opened up April 3rd of 2003. That phone number still works there. So if you called me in 01, it rang. Called me in 05, it rang. Call it right now, it rings.
So basically what you're saying is from the young age of 20, you absolutely knew beyond any reasonable doubt the shop was going to be yours. So you thought, why prolong the procedure of getting the telephone line? Get it right now. So there you go. That's a testament of, the law of attraction.
Absolutely.
Right, so since your first shop, Danny, you've gone on to open 3 different shops. Tell me a little bit about the experience of coming to a Clippers Barbershop.
Well, Clippers Barbershop, I created a team that I can't just say are my barbers, they're my family. We're around each other more than we are with our own family. We're with each other 5 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day. We crack jokes, have fun, but we're professional, and we make sure that everybody gets a quality service, quality experience. We make them look good, we make them feel good, and we keep a great clientele. My first location, I have 11 chairs. I have about 10 barbers in there working at the current time. My second location, I have 11 chairs. I have 10 barbers working there at the current time. And I opened up my third location about 3 years ago. I have 12 chairs, and I have 11 barbers and stylists working in that location as well.
Okay, so big question, why do they come to Clippers Barbershop rather than any other barbershop in the New Jersey area?
One, possibly it could be probably the longest lasting barbershop in my city. I've seen barbershops come and go all the time. And why is they don't, 1, take this serious, 2, act like this is a real job. This is my career. This is how I feed my family. If you have to work at Walmart and you got to be there at 9, these guys are there at 8:55 to make $10 an hour. Now, being a barber, you can make $50 to $100 an hour and you're showing up late. Shame on you. You don't have any respect for your craft, so you expect your client to have respect for you? No, it doesn't work that way. My doors open every single day, same time, 9 a.m. Saturday morning, 6:30, 7 a.m. every single week. Not when the sun's out, not when bills are due, and not when I didn't go out last night. No, I have structure, and I stick to structure. And my barbers come in, and I run my business like a business. It's not a playground. It's not a backyard. You want to cut in your mom's basement, go back there. This is an establishment. This is a business. Women come here, kids come here. I don't care if you're purple, yellow, or green. I want to cut your hair and service you, and I want you to leave here and say, I got my hair cut at Clippers Barbershop.
Any military people in your family?
No, I can't say no. I have a lot of militant friends, but none in my direct family, no.
I think that would have been your second vocation in life. You would definitely aspire to a general, I think. I spoke about the barber battle. I mean, by your own admission, you didn't win very many battles, but it did lead on to you hosting the Exotica Barber Battle. Tell me a little bit about your time as a barber battling barber, and also tell me about the Exoticas and you hosting it.
Well, right now our craft and our industry has risen at an all-time high. I've seen it do a complete 360 in the last 5 years, with hair being in, guys, comb-overs, undercuts, beards, mustaches. It's become cool to be a barber now. My nephews, my son, they now want to be barbers as they grow up. When I was a kid, I never had that barber I looked up to that I want to be him when I grow up. I was walking into a barbershop, they're charging $7 and everybody's smoking cigarettes in there. That wasn't something that I really wanted to do all my life, you know? And now with me just being in the craft and me enjoying it, I would live with a phrase, you'll never work a day in your life when you love what you do, you know? And I make people look good and feel good every single day. So I try to get out of my shop to grow, and I started to compete in barber battles back in 2002, 2003, where they were a way smaller scale than here. They would happen maybe once a year if you were lucky. Now barber battles popping up every corner you can think of. If you go on social media, sometimes there's 2-3 barber battles going on the same weekend, you know? And it's becoming a little saturated, you could say, where it's not even so much fun anymore because there's just so many to go to. But when I used to go, it was more than just winning that trophy. Because I remember going to these battles and meeting and networking people, and I am where I am today from my network, because your network is your net worth. People don't remember that trophy. They remember the person that was cool. They remember the person that wore something. They remember the person that stood out. Take footage, take advantage of it. Like, I have tons of YouTube videos. I have one from doing a barber battle that I did a tag team. It was the New York City barber battle, maybe about 7 years ago. Called the guy up and I said, listen, I want to compete in your barber battle, but I want to do a tag team. I want to cut one person with 2 people at the same time. He was like, wow, I like that idea, but I don't think I could let you do that because you're going to win. I said, yeah, like, that's my goal. I've never seen it before, so I want to be the first to do it. I'm big on trying to do things first. So he was like, no, I can't let you do that. Maybe next year I'll make it a category. I said, no, don't steal my idea to make it a category now. How about this? How about I pay you for both registrations for me and my barber. Keep your trophy. I don't want it. I'm going to get my own accolade out of this. And what did I do? I was the first one on his stage in Times Square, and I did the tag team and I recorded it. I didn't want the trophy. People remember that tag team barber battle. Now that's become a category in certain barber battles. That video did that. People don't remember who won first place in that category. I don't remember, but they remembered that video. So me, as I tell all barbers, we all winners. When you hop on that stage, gravitate on it. Take that platform. Take advantage of that time. Utilize it. Meet people, network. The trophy is awesome, great. But I've seen people win more without that trophy, if it makes sense, you know? So always give back to your career. Like, come to these shows, even that. People want to grow, and they're stuck in their shops. They're stuck in their chair. They're stuck in their backyard. They're home watching football every Sunday. I can't watch football on Sundays. I'm working every Sunday. I'm at these hair shows every Sunday. I'm at these bar battles every Sunday. It's my job, but I enjoy it. I like being around this. Not too much downtime, but you see, I smile every day, so I'm cool.
Okay, so after talking to you, listening to your level of knowledge, your level of discipline, your level of excitement and interest, you had the choice to probably be the ambassador with any clipper company out there in America. You chose Andis. Tell me why you chose Andis and what your role is as Andis as a brand ambassador.
Well, it's funny you mention Andis because today makes 5 years anniversary for me being on that Andis stage. I always used Andis clippers, always did. It was just my preference. And when I first picked up my first pair of Masters, I never thought of being an educator. Never being at a platform, never working at a show was ever in my mind. Me, a teacher? No way. That's how I felt about me being a barber. Me be a barber? No way. Like, everything in my life kind of just happened, you know? And that's the way things work better because they're organic, they happen. So I started coming to these shows, and I remember going to Bronner Brother my first time, 6-7 years ago, walking around, shaking hands, and people kind of knew me from YouTube. Hey, you're the guy from YouTube. Like, yeah, I guess, you know? And it was the weird, good feeling, if it made sense, you know? So I was like, you know what? I gotta start making more videos. If people are remembering me from this video, like, it actually worked. So from making these videos, now I'm coming to these shows, meeting people, networking, watching these guys on stage with a mic, cutting hair, like, I like that. It intrigued me, you know? Like, I think I could be up there. I think I look good in a suit and a tie, cutting hair. But let me try it, you know? So I kept coming around, kept shaking hands, kept networking, and I'm a big on subliminal branding. I did that with my logo. I have a shop logo, and I put it on everything. I have a van that's fully wrapped. It's on my garbage cans, it's on my capes, it's on my jackets. I wear t-shirts, I wear hats, you name it, it's on it. So if you're subliminally branding something, you're not pushing it in someone's face, you're just constantly showing it to them. And when they're consistently seeing it, they're gonna look into it. What is this? And I did that with my face after I built my brand. So I started coming to and now they're like, who's the guy with the beard? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? He always comes around, he always comes shake my hand. And you gotta be hospitable. Our career revolves around personalities. We have to talk to our clients. No clipper will ever replace me. That clipper needs me to work. I don't need that clipper to work. I can cut their hair, but it's not about just cutting their hair. It's about making them look good and feel good. It's about talking to them, embracing them. And it's the same thing coming to these shows. No one likes a jerk. No one likes an arrogant person. No one likes a mute. If you're gonna stand there like this, you're not gonna grow. You know, you gotta open your mouth. Closed mouths don't get fed. You know, so coming around, shaking hands, and I went on the Bronner Brothers stage at the end of the stage, gave me a free trial run, went up there, just showcased I was the guest educator, and it gave me a fire. Like, I need to be back up here. I belong here, you know? So I did everything I could, man. Kept coming to these shows, going to Atlanta, going to Orlando premiere, coming here to New York. And then Ivan Zoot was the educational director at the time. He said, listen, let me give you a trial run. Come in on Monday, you'll work 1 day, we'll pay you for the 1 day, drive in, we'll pay for your parking, work the 1 day, and you could drive back home. And if we like you, we'll see what goes from there. Awesome. And I remember working that day nonstop. I got on stage at 9:30, I did not get off. I didn't take a lunch, I didn't take a break, I didn't want to. I just wanted to be up there just cutting hair back to back to back. And for the first time I was on stage, I felt like I was in my barbershop. I had them lined up in the front. They were educators. I was working with Tone Black. Tone McGill is one of the educators from Andis. He's been there over 10 years. It was me, him, and another young lady that's no longer with the company. And he was like, how many people do you have? Like, you're gonna cut all day? Yeah, because I like it, I enjoy it. And I'm here to do my job because I want to get back up here. And I remember Harry from Andis came up to me after. I didn't know who he was. Hands me his business card and said, awesome job, man. If you ever need something, feel free to reach out. Awesome. Maybe about a month later, Ivan Zoot left the company. Ivan Zoot left Andis, and he was the guy that kind of, you know, was getting me in. He was the education. What do I do? Where do I go from here? I went right in my wallet and I grabbed that little business card. And this is where your network comes in. Grabbed that card and sent this gentleman an email. Hey, sir, I recall seeing you at the Javits Center. Meanwhile, I didn't know he was. He was Ivan Zoot's boss. So I went direct instead of dealing with someone in the center. So everything happens for a reason. It just worked out. And Harry, to this day, takes pride in saying that he hired me. I'm the only Andis educator he's ever hired. So it's cool to have that relationship with him. And like, he's proud that I'm there and I'm proud to be here. Here I am,
Nice.
5 years later.
Mutual benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So listening to you, you sound like a self-motivated person. Me on the opposite side of the camera is absolutely motivated. Listening to you, outside of barbering or maybe inside of barbering, do you have a motivational speaker gig? Because if you didn't, I would say that it's absolutely criminal.
It's actually something that I kind of want to start pursuing a lot more. I do a lot of motivational speeches when I do the Exotics Hair Battle Tour because we do a 6-hour intense seminar, and it's tons of education, tons of barbers from all over. And yeah, I'm a pretty good barber. I could teach you how to cut hair, but my speeches will touch you way more and change your mindset way more and make you want to go grab a pair of clippers 5 minutes later before any haircut that I can do. Because a lot of guys have the talent, have the gift, but don't have the responsibility, reliability, customer service, or respect for this industry. They act like people owe them something. No, you owe them something. They're paying you for a service. Your time is valuable and so is theirs. Respect theirs and they're gonna respect yours. This is a career, it's not a joke, it's not a game. I don't cut hair for fun, even though I enjoy it. I get paid a whole lot of money doing it. So.
Okay, so we're talking, that's like a motivational and uplifting thing. What are you hating in the industry right now? In a positive way.
What I could say hating is it's the unprofessionalism, you know? Where certain people will go to a certain barbershop and get a certain experience and feel as if we all run our businesses like that. No, they run their business like that. I don't run my business like that. I run my business as a business. He runs his business as a playground. There's difference there. This is a service, once again. Certain places you walk into, they're playing all this crazy music, it's uncomfortable, the mom walks in and she's uncomfortable. No, I want everyone to be comfortable here. So I need everyone to walk in and feel a certain type of way. Greeting people, hello, how are you, can I help you? You want something to drink, you want a water, you want some coffee. Customer service, people want to feel welcome. I don't care where you are or where you're from, you want to feel welcome. And if you're not feeling welcome, you're not going to return, you're not going to go back. And that's what distinguishes the difference between one and the other.
Okay, and 3 short sentences, tell me what you would like to see people do or what you think people can do to change that door of doubt in your mind.
The way we can change it is we all have to do it together. That's key. We can't do it alone. Sometimes I feel like I'm fighting a battle by myself. And this is why I go out and speak motivation. So I'm not doing this by myself. We're all a unit. If all our prices go up, they have no choice. If we're all on time, they have no choice. If we all leave at the same time, they have no choice. If we all take lunch at the same time, it's all about structure, creating structures. And if we all have structures, professional structures, we can all grow together. People will all be happy cutting hair, other than some of these barbers that are complaining. I was just at BarberCon last night, and the energy in there was a little quiet, and a lot of people cutting hair, great talents, but they needed to hear something. So I went up there and let them hear something. And sometimes they need a little kick in the butt for a reminder to let them know what they're doing wrong. Yeah, you're the one smoking a cigarette after every haircut. Yeah, you're the one taking 2-hour lunches. Yeah, you're walking in at 11 o'clock with your Starbucks. Yeah, you're leaving early. Yes, you go on vacation too much. Yes, you're texting too much. Yes, you're on the phone too much. That's your fault. Your fault, and you don't have structure. When I see my barbers doing stuff like that, I tell them, no, get off your phone. No, you came late. Go home. Come back tomorrow. No, you can't leave early. No, you can't take an hour lunch. No, why? If you worked at Walmart, you can't do these things. So why do you do it in a barbershop? Because you can, you shouldn't be able to. And some of these barbers are renting chairs. Awesome. You're renting a space. That doesn't mean you can do what you want. Go lease an apartment. You sign a lease. The lease has structure. No pets, no smoking, no this, no that. When you rent a chair for me, you have the same structure. You gotta be here by a certain time, leave by a certain time. This is your space. It needs to be clean at all times. If it's not, I fine you. If not, I send you home. I run my business like a business, and my barbers respect it. And they might not like it at first, but it's like when you went to high school. You didn't like that teacher that kicked you in the butt, but when you graduated, you thanked her. So I got a lot of my guys that don't like me every day, and I've learned, being a businessman, you're not gonna like me every day, but you're gonna thank me after you don't like me.
So this is what I was telling you guys about buckling up. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but in a pleasant way. Listen to this man's words and you can't go far wrong. So, on an absolutely positive note, what are you loving about the industry and what would you like to see continue?
What I'm loving about the industry is the growth of it. Like I said, years ago, products, everybody was just using $5 gel. Now, Google Pomade, there's over 100. Google Beard Oils, there's over 100. Barbers are now being entrepreneurs. It's not just, you're not just a regular barber anymore. Barbers are barbers, barbers are educators, barbers are platform artists, barbers are product establishers. There's tons of barbers here that I remember years ago just seeing working in the shop. Now they have their own booth and they're selling their own products and they have teams under them. So watching the growth of the way this is going is amazing. Me being able to travel the way I do, a couple months ago I just left Spain. Last year I did Brazil, I did Mexico. I'm coming to the UK this year in May. I'll come see these guys. I'll be in Argentina this year. This is now something that's gotten worldwide. It's no longer just state to state. Like, I'm from New Jersey, and if you're from New Jersey, you're from New York. And a given, we have our way of doing things, and we run our barbershops a certain way, but me traveling and seeing the way everyone runs their shops, the way everybody has their systems, certain things that they do, I bring those back to my shop. So I might have saw something in Spain that intrigued me. I'll see something in the UK that intrigues me. I'll see the way someone runs their shop in Lancaster, PA, and it intrigues me. And I bring these things back to my shop, especially hair trends. I've brought in hair trends that I've seen in other countries or other states back into Jersey. I'm one of the first ones to be doing certain hard parts and certain styles because I saw it somewhere else. That was like when I grew my mustache. I grew my mustache about 4 years ago because I went to Cali. In Cali, everybody's tatted, their hands, their fingers, their necks, their throats, mustaches. It's just the Cali look, you know? And I saw a couple guys with curly mustaches. And you know, like I said, I like doing stuff first sometimes. So I always had a fairly long beard, always long goatee. Decided to let my whole beard grow. Like, I'm gonna let my mustache grow. And when I started letting it grow, everybody's, D, you're bugging out. You're letting your mustache grow. Like, I'm not growing it for you. I'm growing it for me. You don't have to like it. I like it. And after a while, it became part of me. And what happened? Started seeing a mustache here. Started seeing a mustache there. Now there's mustaches everywhere. I had 3 barbers that worked in my shop that had mustaches. They were all killing me when I had it. Sometimes it takes someone to push that envelope to want to do that, you know? So it's, look at Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy made the mohawk cool. Years ago, you thought about mohawks. All you thought about was Mr. T. You thought about a hard line mohawk. Curtis Smith, my partner for the Exotics Hair Battle Tour, he created that mohawk for Puff Daddy. It was actually a faded mohawk on ethnic hair, which was never seen before. And when he did it, Oh, Puffy lost his mind. Oh, Puffy's crazy. Oh, what did Puffy do? He had everyone wearing mohawks. Ethnic hair, straight hair, curly hair. It went from braids, because that was the era at that time. Everyone had braids. Guys that shouldn't have braids had braids. They all cut it off and they all had a mohawk. Puff did that. Puff said it was okay to have a mohawk. So sometimes it takes one person to push the envelope and say it's okay to do this. It's okay to be you, and that's what I highly recommend to everyone. Be you. Don't be someone else. And as you mentioned, I didn't touch base on that. That's the thing about this industry. This industry, there's a lot of copycat stuff. There's a lot of, you mentioned yesterday, you didn't even want to tell me something you got in your bag because you know. Sometimes you can't tell someone too much because what are they going to do? They're going to take that idea, they're going to run with it, they're going to steal it, and they're going to saturate it. And it happens with a lot of stuff. It's happening with products, it's happening with barber battles, it's happening with techniques, it's happening with filters, it's happening with all this false advertisement on social media. These guys are acting, you got 100,000 followers, but you don't even got $100,000 in the bank. There's a problem here. If you got more followers than money in the bank, then I call balling backwards. There's a problem here. You know, so it's a big picture with barbering and the state of it. And I can sit here and we can have this interview for 2 days straight, trust me.
I gathered. Okay, so we've just spoken about barbershops, as obviously that's the main domain for a barbershop to a barber to earn his money. You have a number of products, I believe. You have barbering apparels and educational CDs to help that young barber who's coming up, or indeed someone who just wants to improve their skills, because as experienced as you are, I'm sure you would openly admit that you can learn from every single solitary barber. Tell me about your apparels and tell me about your educational material.
Whereas I mentioned before, everything that I've done in my career has kind of just happened. Where with my apparel started with, I'm going to the mall spending money on Ralph Lauren shirts. I don't know Ralph. I'm buying a nice Gucci shirt. I don't know that guy. I'm spending $300 on a shirt for what? When I can go out and spend $300 and make my own shirts. So I made a design called Love My Craft, because I love my craft. I live by that. It was a barber pole and it just said Love My Craft on it. I made a bunch of them to match a bunch of my sneakers. I'm a big shoe guy, I wear a lot of shoes. So I just made a bunch of them with my logo. It's advertising me. So when I walk around, I look like a barber. People see me from public, you're a barber? Absolutely. You're a barber? Absolutely. You want to be a barber, you look like a barber all the time. There's certain things that you do to make yourself look like a barber. So that one year that I went to Atlanta, Bronner Brothers, I went to that show out of my own pocket. I remember staying in the Ritz-Carlton. It was the only thing still available, and it would cost me about $350 a night. I didn't care. That was an investment for me. That was the best trip I ever took. Barbers are cheap. They want to make a lot of money, but don't want to spend any of it. You'll buy the new Jordans, but you won't hop on a flight to come invest in yourself and educate yourself. Because if you educate yourself, you might make some more money and buy 2, 3 pairs of Jordans. But there goes the ball and backwards all over again, you know? So, like I said, we could sit here for hours and hours on this stuff. Like, I have a long laundry list of this stuff, but it's all about how you make it and how you absorb it and how bad you really want it, you know?
Okay, and tell me about the the educational DVDs that you have. Tell me about those.
And that as well, where once I made those shirts, I started wearing them, and then people are like, "It's a nice shirt. Do you have them for sale?" Not yet. So what did I do? I supplied the demand, and I made shirts. And then I made more designs and more shirts. And then I made sweaters and jackets. And I had my own product line. It was all clothing, barber apparel. Had it on my website, and it was a whole different financial way of me making money. Yes, I cut hair, but every successful person has 7 different avenues of income. 7. So just because you make a lot of money with your chair spinning doesn't mean that's the only amount of money you can make. So I started selling shirts. Now I got into education. I'm doing tons of classes. After the class, hey, you have any educational DVDs? Hey, you got any DVDs? Hey, you got any further education? Not yet, but I will. So I felt like I got forced into supplying the demand. So what did I do? I sat in the shop, and I remember shooting for 22 hours straight. 10 models one day, and banged out 2 volumes. And my first weekend, though, when I released it in Cali, I sold over 100 of them. And like I said, it's just supplying the demand, you know? And I didn't think I was the best. I didn't make it because I thought I was better than another barber. I didn't do it because my ego is out the roof. I'm far from that. I'm probably the most humble guy you'll meet in this industry because I hate an arrogant guy. But when I see money, I see opportunity, I see a reason for me to do what I need to do. And some people might think I did it for the wrong reasons, but they probably bought the DVD too and they learned something. So you're welcome, guy. It works out.
And in closing, Danny, let's say that there was a broke-ass barber down on his luck and thought that the whole world was conspiring against him. What would be your words of advice to bring him on his feet and ultimately succeed in this wonderful craft?
Just hang in there. That's key, hang in there. We all have rough days. The sun doesn't shine every day. Trust me, with all my responsibilities, all the stuff I got going on, 3 shops, 2 product companies, a clipper company. I got 2 kids, I'm still a pretty great dad. I work out every single morning. I maximize my days, you know? But when it comes to that, just have faith, you know? No matter what you're gonna do in this life, whether being a barber, whether being a Cosmo, whether being a lawyer, whether being a doctor, whatever you do, just go hard at it. Just go hard at it. I have people sit in my classes and my motivational speeches, and they're not barbers. But I don't just talk about barbering, I talk about work ethic, I talk about drive, I talk about passion, I talk about taking whatever you love and going 1,000% at it. Go directly at it. Don't take no for an answer. And we all fail. Success comes with failure. No success comes with no failure, because that's not really success. You have to learn to fail before you learn to win. The sun doesn't shine every day. You gotta appreciate rain to appreciate sun. So just know, it's gonna be a tough road, but every accomplished person has had their bumps, but it's all about how you deal with them, how you handle them. Take a breath, breathe, you're living, you're healthy, you're happy. That's important. Everything else that comes.
Okay, folks, you can unbuckle yourself now. I'm just going to debrief now and close down. Danny, thank you very much for sharing your words of wisdom. You know, there was lots and lots and lots in there. You know, if someone's kind of watching this and they're down on their luck and they've watched this, I'm sure they're going to spring to their feet and they're going to do something with their life. So I respect you.
Thank you, man. I love that. And that stuff like that is what actually gets me going. Like, I'm up every morning, 5:30. I'm in the gym 6 o'clock every day. Like, that's something I do personally, that I like to do that. But since I'm already in the gym, I normally post something motivational every single morning. Like, that's what I choose to do. And I remember going a week, like, you know what, I'm gonna get off social media for a little while. Just wanted to take a break. I started getting text messages from people. D, are you okay? D, what happened to the morning motivational? D, my days aren't right without, like, I didn't know that certain people really paid attention to that much. They depend on that.
So you've answered another question. Success addicts. You was getting these bad boys addicted to your morning dose of whatever it is you give them.
And it's nuts. And even when I created that name, Success Addict, that was more of Instagram came out. And I first started it and it was Danny the Barber. Danny the Barber is so corny, you know? Like, I just didn't want to be Danny the Barber. That's even like my barbershop. I didn't name my barbershop Danny's Barbershop for a reason. I didn't name it that for growth. I didn't name it that because I saw a bigger picture. Danny's Barbershop can grow so much. Clipper's Barbershop turned into a household thing. So same thing when it came to now my Instagram. I didn't want to just be Danny the Barber. Thought of something, you know, and I'm addicted to a lot of things. Success is one of them. And it was just click, Success Addict. Put it on my Instagram. Today, I feel like I have to live up to that now, where I can't not be, you know? Like, it's just, I put myself in that position. I chose that name, so now I have to live up to it. And it's just an amazing feeling waking up to emails and DMs and certain things that I do that I don't even know these people. They live in other countries, other states. I've never met them personally, but stuff that I do on a daily got them through a rough day, got them through a rough path, and inspired them to want more. I've had tons of barbers say, I'm the reason that they went to barber school. I'm the reason they picked up a pair of clippers. My first Love My Craft video, if you go on YouTube, I got a lot of YouTube videos too, just like Larry the Barber Man.